This is spoiler territory, guys. So if you are avoiding spoilers for Dispatch, this is not the stream for you because we're gonna be talking about Dispatch. But after we finish Dispatch, y'all, the way I spend hours in the Discord just talking with everyone, that was really nice about like the ending and like different characters and different their personalities and how they reacted, and you know, the problems that they have or like the good things about them. I found that super enjoyable. The thing that I really don't like, or the thing that I dislike about the Dispatch fan base or the community, and this is the first time I've ever encountered a community that I'm just like genuinely what the actual fuck. Because like normally I don't really care about the fan bases for games and books and whatever, because usually it always just turns into like people arguing for the sake of arguing. But this Dispatches one is so cooked, bro. It's so cooked. It's actually so cooked. And then I was watching my VOD on YouTube, and then I saw this comment. I saw this really funny ass comment. It was like this dude, he's like, also, by the way, the trigger to get Invisigal to kiss you in the locker room is saying that you care for her. So that's 100% Yuzu's fault. How the hell do you expect me to know that Robert's gonna get sexually assaulted by Invisigal if I say that I care for her?
Your streamer friends about it? Your pal Nyan was pretty funny in her playground. A bit opposite to you. And
Wait,
I guess Ethel has done Flamby's voice in something before. Totally spot on.
Wait, I knew Nyan was playing Dispatch. I didn't know Ethel did Dispatch either. When you don't know the future. That was like such an insane comment to write too. I was just like, how the hell was I supposed to know the trigger for each thing that happens in the game? How the hell was I supposed to know that? I'm sorry, I care for everyone in my team. I'm sorry that I have a big heart and I just want to make sure everyone's okay. That doesn't mean I don't want you. That doesn't mean that I want you to fucking kiss me invisible against my will. You mean you weren't reading a guide? You weren't min-maxing your choices? Streamer, why don't you know everything immediately? What the F? He shouldn't have wore the nice blue... Oh, hell nah. It was what he was wearing. It was his fault, guys. He shouldn't have been wearing that around her. Shake my head. That's his fault. Imagine caring for people. Imagine saying that you care for someone, and then suddenly they just push you against the locker room and start kissing you, and then you lean back and then they push your hand away, and then you have to tell them, no, I care for you, Chaz. It's just like, it's so frustrating because like my whole point in the entire last episodes, in episode 7 and 8, my entire point about Mandy and Mandy / Blonde Blazer was that I just wish that she would get the same grace and the same defenders, or like the same like understanding that Invisigal fans give Invisigal, you know? Like, people just be hating on Blonde Blazer for no reason. And even after the fact that she just is not a manipulative person, and she's not some like psyop and like double agent, people are like, watch, in season 2 she's gonna be Shroud's daughter, just watch, she's gonna betray bro, just pack it up, put the fries in the bag. Like, we're coping at this point. It's like, I love Invisigal and I love her character. I love how problematic and complex her character is. I love that she's just like a troubled person and never got to experience a found family before, and she's navigating that in her own way. And I know there's things that happen that's just like really problematic in general, but that's the point. It's supposed to make you uncomfortable when it's not supposed to like be all fine and dandy all the time. It's supposed to show you the good and the bad, and that's why I like both characters. But the thing is, like, people are just excusing all of her behaviors and like saying Mandy's the bad one. That's like my whole point, you know? I just want people to see that Mandy's just like, you know, she's always been there for Robert, you know? Blonde Blazer didn't need to cut someone. That's my main problem with her, but that might also be a bias. And that's another thing too. I think people like to nitpick certain things, like with the other characters, to like justify another person's actions. Like Blonde Blazer, whenever people bring up like her problems, like quote unquote she cheated and she kissed Robert while she had a boyfriend. That was also a choice by the player. That wasn't like completely her choice either. And then also like she didn't have to cut someone from the Z team versus like all of the other things that Invisigal did, like going against direct orders or going to the hideout, trying to get the Astral Pulse, almost having Chase sacrifice himself to save her. You know, like there's like when people are nitpicking like to justify another person's actions, that's where like we get lost in the plot, you know? That's where I feel like is like, I don't know. Or, you know, straight up being on the wrong side until the very end. Yeah, literally until the very end of the season, she was just like playing for both sides. And then she's like, suddenly the only reason why she had redeemed herself is like if you care for her as a player, but then if you care for her as a player, she ends up kissing you. I mean, it makes sense if you choose her as your love interest though. Like that makes sense to me, you know? But if you choose Blonde Blazer, if you don't choose either of them as your love interest, it just like, that was weird. But like, it's not that I don't think it should have been in the game. I think that was pretty, that was like an okay thing to add into the game. I think it's supposed to be there for like to induce emotions. It's supposed to be there as like a plot device, I guess, or like to start conversations. And that's like something that we can talk about. The fact that she was sided with Shroud makes the whole deal with Chase so much more disappointing for me. Yeah, right. When Chase was like always questioning her loyalty to the Z team and trying to be a better person, and Chase just never, he always didn't really give her the benefit of the doubt. Rightfully so. I mean, he was proven kind of like right about that. She's kind of been played for her own benefit or for Shroud, and it's just like kind of disappointing to see that when we had the conversation with Chase and then he ended up like saving her afterwards, and then we learned that she was just like kind of not really all that there for us. What you think will happen? I think like in the case of, it's just like the context of Invisigal being given so much grace even by Robert. Like as the player, you have so many options to forgive her, to like help rehabilitate her, and you can only do so much, right? Like not everyone is going to be able to do that. And it's just like she's giving so many opportunities to be better, and that's what the Phoenix program is for, right? Like don't get me wrong, that's the whole point. But like it gets to a point. It gets to a point.
I like Blazer's character a lot. I think they're both nice and well written. But I personally think Vissy's character is a bit more complex. Not saying BB is basic, or doesn't have her own fair share of struggles, but it's clearly a lot more straightforward apples to Invisigirls.
Right.
And I wish instead of justifications of her bad behavior, they'd just actually understand her personality.
I think what's really unique about the Blonde Blazer versus Invisigal 2 is Invisigal is like the complete opposite of what Blonde Blazer is. Like Invisigal is like, she's like solo dolo, badass, kind of evil, and then like Blonde Blazer is like team oriented, caring, kind of like pretty morally good. I don't know, like it's just like they're the both complete opposites. Their powers are complete polar opposite. Oh my gosh, wait, yeah, you're kind of right about that, because like she's like always in the light vibes, and then Invisigal's like in the shadows vibes, invisible shadows vibes. Yeah, that's cool. You didn't get the harem ending? I don't want the harem ending. I want Robert to be with Mandy. I think it's just so adorable how Robert is powerless. He was born without superpowers. Mandy also was born without superpowers, and like they can bond in that way, I guess. And she's always been there for Robert. She's always been like supporting Robert and Z Team from day one. Like she literally searched for him to try to like get him back up on his feet and like repair the mecha suit, because that's just like what he loves to do. Like she's just always been there for him, and that's why I love their dynamic. She's just like his supporting pillar, whereas like for Robert, he's the supporting pillar for Invisigal while he has his own problems. You know, he struggles with his own problems, but like Invisigal, I don't feel like she was really considerate about like his own problems and his own feelings, whereas like Blonde Blazer always was there for him. So that's how I feel about it. I just hope they give Mandy more screen time in season 2. She deserves so much. I think there was a reason though why they did favor giving Invisigal more screen time though. It obviously made for a more compelling story, and I think the point of giving Invisigal that screen time and that chemistry to Robert was for the player to gravitate more towards Invisigal, so that the big twist can hurt a bit more, you know? The reason why I think that she was focused on in the story a lot was to get the player to get the big twist in their first experience. I think that was the intended experience for sure. The only change I really think was needed was to have Vizzy portrayals be more spread out. Having like 3 back-to-back things didn't sting or have as much impact as we did. Had one after another over Yeah, it definitely felt like squeezed in. I think I remember seeing a video on the devs from Ad Hoc saying that they were actually about to go under with their company and their team, because a lot of their investors, I guess, dropped out, and a lot of other gaming studios were going under and just like completely vanishing because they just didn't have enough support or they weren't making enough money. And then Critical Role actually swooped in. Critical Role was one of their supporters, but they weren't like hugely like supporting them financially until like Ad Hoc was like, you know what, we're in this together. If you really want this to work, just like help us go all in with it. And then Critical Role was like, yeah, fuck it, we ball. And then they made this insanely good game. Originally it was planned to be a live action and not an animated game, so it was gonna be like real life people. I'm glad they made it a animation. So glad. The animation just hits so hard. Also, like, wasn't this originally made to be a show, but they had to pivot to a game? Hopefully that means things will branch out more based on your decisions like season 1. I'm pretty sure they meant to make it a live action interactive. So like it was still meant to be a game. It was still meant to be interactive, but it was going to be live action with real life people being the actors, but then they made it into an animation. Animation just better medium for storytelling that requires unrealistic sets and pieces and scenes. Yeah, I agree. Oh my gosh, another thing that annoyed me, guys. Another thing that annoyed me was like, there was people that was like, she doesn't like Invisigal, but she says she likes Toxic. Of course, the hypocrisy. That's like completely different though. That's completely different. I specifically stated I liked Toxic because that's like how a modern villain would just talk. He was just like so goofy and like just like the most modern villain you could think of. He's just like, you know, not because his fucking dick is swinging around. It's like, as much as I make sex jokes, guys, I am not only thinking about cock and penis and pussy, okay? It's like, come on, give me that. Give me some leniency here. Come on. It's guys. Come on, you have to agree with me that Toxic actually was just like a great villain. He like actually had emotion. He's not some emotionless villain that's just evil for the heck of it. He's like genuinely so funny and like morally bad. He's just toxic. He's just a toxic dude. I still don't understand how Toxic got up after Punch-Up punched him in the dick like 20 times. Yuzu loves red flags. Well, you can like a villain for their villain-y, you know? You can like a villain for being a good villain. That doesn't mean you want to fuck them. I don't know. I feel like the definitely the last couple of episodes of Dispatch really brought out something in me that I never knew I had. Where like I will say something and then it'll get like interpreted the wrong way, and then I'll like reiterate, and then it'll get interpreted the wrong way, and then I'll like say it 10 more times, and then like it'll just like go in someone's head and then come out the other side, you know, it go in your ear and then the other side of the ear. It's just like I can never say something where it'll get interpreted the wrong way, and or like be saying something and then it's like, oh, so you hate this. Like we literally had this conversation such a long time ago too, but I never thought it would happen with Dispatch. I never thought that Dispatch would be the game that would bring it out. And like specifically for Dispatch as well, it's like the game gives you multiple choices. It gives you like 3 choices on average for each interaction, right? But like the one choice that's arguably like the worst one or like the best one, people will like take that as the canon thing that happens in all playthroughs and be like, yeah, but this happens and that's why this happens. So, and I'm just like, but like that didn't happen in my playthrough. That didn't. But this happened in my playthrough. If I picked it, it's canon. I kind of wish though, I saw the choice where you give Shroud the astral pulses and you give him the prototype and the real one. I never realized that that was the first time that Shroud ever had to make a choice for himself. Like he always knew the answer when it came to humans, but when he got the 2 astral pulses, he had to make the choice and trust his gut, and he chose the wrong one. Let me see if I could find the video. Press 1 if you would kill Shroud. Press 2 if you would spare him.
Don't fucking test me.
Okay.
What the fuck is this, Robert?
You said you wanted the Astropulse. I gave it to you. One of those is it.
They look fucking identical, Robert.
Look, you're right. I can't outsmart you. Because,
Come on.
you know what? I'm not a smart guy. So, the only way to keep you from knowing what I'm doing is to not have any idea what I'm doing. Which is how I feel all the time. But I trust my gut and I take my best guess. Just like you used to do.
Ooh,
Before
now
you
he has
plugged
to
all
take
those
his
fucking
best
Christmas lights
guess.
into your head. Before you were afraid to make your own decisions, Elliot.
Maybe we wait till we get home?
Shut the fuck up! Fuck you.
Is this the wrong one? Oh god. If it's the wrong one, how does he get like this then?
That was worth the wait.
It's still a pulse. Oh. Oh man.
Feel that, you fucking fucks?
I told you. I fucking told you, Clouds.
You feel the power?
I see it now. I can see it all. It's all there. Every permutation. Every...
Oh god. Ew.
Fuck! Wait.
Just a hunch, but I'm starting to think that you guessed wrong.
No. It's just...
Okay, start punching him. Oh, they're gonna throw up too? Ew. Ew.
Bitch. Just in time. Be a dear.
Oh, is she gonna kill him? He didn't redeem her on his playthrough.
What? Fuck. Vizzy. What the fuck?
What's the matter, Shroud? Didn't see that coming.
I still kind of like her killing Shroud though. I don't know. It just like is so cinema to me. This part's also stupid because like how Shroud could predict everything but didn't see this coming. Right? And also like if she were to take the bullet for Robert, how did he not predict that Invisigal would also take the bullet for him, you know?
No.
Because she's invisible and he's an idiot. But doesn't he predict humans and not objects? So he can predict literally anything as long as it's not an object. He was on cooldown. If he knew she stole the pulse from the ship, why even trust her to be on his team and let her go? I don't know. She is a very complex character, and that's why it's like so important to like. That's why like everyone having that conversation about Invisigal. She's always been on both sides, kind of. She's always just been like, what the fuck are you doing? So not even the Shroud could guess what the hell she's doing, I guess. Not Shroud, not Robert, not the player. We didn't know what the hell she was up to.